So in this part, we're going to focus on doing the splitting of the expense and the sales. So right now we have this, but I don't like it that we have these things not yet filtered. So we need to filter them. So how to do that? Well, first of all, I want to remove all this excess code that we have here. It's not necessary. As you can see, these are not even a part of it. And this all can be done. Alright, so we delete it all. And that works. So now what we want to do is, of course, let's figure out if something is a sale or not. So in your description, so if you are doing bookkeeping or accounting, especially in bookkeeping specifically, since this is really for the bookkeeping, you always record sales in a specific term. So use a sale term, sale, or you have the product, any of that. So in this case, I have a description here, sale. So that means that we always can quickly identify our sale. So all what we need to do is we need to now use what I would call a if statement to get some tricks. And we're going to use the same concatenation trick here. So let me show you first what I'm going to do, then I will explain exactly what we want to do. So first of all, what I really want to do here is just add up here a letter, E or S. E stands for expense and S stands for sale. So how do we check that based on this here? Well, very simple. I'm going to show you a trick here. It's called the if statement. If, logical test, then we say this, yeah, so if this value equals, then double quotation, sale, double quotation. If that's true, then show letter S, but then make sure it's double quotation. If you don't have any double quotations, it will be given error. And if that's not true, so basically you say if it's sale, yes, then show letter S. If it's not true, show letter, double quotation, of course, again, E, then close, enter. So now what you can see, it shows here, it says, aha, this is the letter E, because it's an expense, not a sale. So let's double click on this. Oh, of course it doesn't work yet, because I need to move it here. Because then if I double click, it will see that this is the column to compare with, and there you are. So now we have this here. However, I don't want to add this column here. That's horrible and ugly, and all additional columns gives me only trouble. So what I really want is I want this to move in here to concatenate. So what I will do is this one, and yes, you probably already know, just add this comma here. So how you do that, just grab this entire formula, if, comma, and then escape, and then click on this, and in here, comma, paste this, enter. So now we have another layer on top of our formula. Double click on this, you can see everything will be adjusted, and sale, 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 sale. Beautiful. Let's delete this. And now we have this another part. So this helps us to create here in the annual a sales and expense total. So how to do it? So right now there's again another issue. You say, oh wait, well, what's going on here? This is not working. Well, very simple. So we're going to play with this. So you see here, this is our transaction, and it says this, yes. And here what we have to do here is we're going to put in a formula of concatenation. So you say, basically what we want to do is, because this is, just understand, so let me explain before I start typing. Maybe you'll be confused if I don't do anything. So what I have here is the expense. So we know this is standard, the letter E, and this is standard, the letter S. So what I need to do is I will say concatenate this value plus letter E. Then we have for this one all the expenses of that month, of that year. So now you understand what I'm trying to do. Let's start and fix this right away. So we're going back here, the annual, and now we'll do very simple. We say here, or not equal, but we do here concatenate, open brackets, yes. So you can see this is text number 1. Say, all right, that's correct, that's text number 1 here, and then we say here E. But if you do letter E, double quotation, E. Very important. If you don't do letter E, you get an error. All right. So now we have this, and then enter. So now we have all of these, and let's double click, and let's see here for February. Did we have any expense for February 2018? February 2018, no expense. February 19, there's expense. is there sale? In January 2019, there is a sale. So we don't have that yet, but you see here, this is empty. Empty, empty, empty. All right. So we are so close to completion for the sales, for the total sales. Exactly the same story. We just copy this formula here. Escape. Let's put it here. We paste the formula, and then instead of the letter S, we do letter S. Oh, sorry, letter E for echo. We do letter S for Shara. Enter. And now we see here no sales. Double click on this. We can see here in March, do we have any sales? In March we have a sale. In February we have nothing here. So if this would be February, let's put this in number 2. Then we have here this. Beautiful. And then you will see here as well. So this is how you do this, and this is really how you can solve these kind of things here. So the only thing what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give it some nice layout. So I'm just going to just select this. I'll make this white. That's beautiful. Just center this, and all of these can be selected, and you can even go, basically it's forever, but let's select only this here. We are going to make this nice borders. And maybe you say, well, I want to highlight the 2008 I want to know the difference here. This should be highlighted. Well, no problem. We can highlight this as well. Let's make this a more thicker border at the bottom. Beautiful. So we've got this. We've got all these formulas here, right? Next part, of course, is let's remove all of the things that we don't need. So we can just remove all of these. Let's see if we, so you can see here right now what's going on is we have a reference here. Of course, this is the reference we're going to that, so this is not allowed to remove, but we can remove this value here. So if we remove that, that works. And we can say here month, and maybe say, well, what about this here? This looks horrible. You're right. Let's select this, give this a custom layout, and then we say here more number formats. We select the date, and then what we really want is we just want the month. Let's see if we can find that here. You can see it's not in here. Other option, just click here on special, and you probably hear the type, and if I'm not mistaken, M equals month, but you can see here there's almost everything you want in Excel, what you can imagine. Okay, confirm. There we are. Let's center everything here. That looks nice, and these here should be nicely designed with a dollar sign. Go back to transactions, same story. Yes, select all of these. What is right now selected? They should be a dollar sign. Beautiful. So now we have everything, and we're really done here with one of the first parts, but of course we have still some small fine-tuning to do before we really move on to some nicer things. I'm just going to give this some dark color so you will not notice it. And the same story here. We can even give this also a nice black color. Just select this entire row. Hopla. So there we are. So now this is what we have. And if you say, well, I don't want this, well, right click, hide. Also an option. In this case, I will leave it open because we might need this in the future. So this is how you do this. And in the next video, I want to start to give it some color. And what I mean by this is, let's go to a transaction. This here should have some nicer layout with red and green, meaning red for expense, green for sale.